Here, Ronnie, that was a pretty good performance all told, wasn't it? Some days I guess you just get out of bed on the right side. Was it a case of that, or how did it feel?
I don't know, I worked hard at my game yesterday. I'd done 4 hours. Normally I do like a couple, but I just thought, I'm just going to play twice a week and do 4 or 5 hours every day, and then the other 5 days I'm not going to play snooker, because that's all I need. And I just went through the pain barrier yesterday, I just was like, and then it kind of felt all right, and I thought, okay, it's just one of them things, but the adaptations don't immediately take effect, so you're kind of always, I'm always tweaking and working on stuff, just trying to hit the ball sweetly. So yeah, working hard at my game, just trying to find some consistency, trying to find the Mark Williams secret, whatever that is.
We're going to float some shots. I'm not going to ask you too much about them. I wanted to ask you about your opponent today, Jackson Page. You've seen a lot of good stuff in him. He only got one on the board, but it was good, wasn't it?
No, I think he's a brilliant player. I think it just reminds me of Luca Purcell, This is me playing, not Luca, not Jackson. But yeah, he's got, he's got great cue power. He's just got a fantastic snooker brain. Just reminds me of Luca Purcell, fantastic talent, great for the game. And yeah, he'll win tournaments for sure.
What's he got to improve on?
I think he's just got to wait for a lot of the top guys to sort of dip a little bit, like Robertson, Selby, all them type of guys. They're just kind of got that experience and whatever, and he's learning on the job. And I just think once that bracket of players sort of start losing it a little bit, he's that kind of in that bracket, 24, 25, where he's going to have his time. It's hard to break through against people like Robertson, Trump, Selby, Ding, and if I've left anyone out, I'm sorry. Now I'm forgetting Higgins and Williams, but I'm just saying, it's how do you get in amongst them and win tournaments? You have sometimes to wait your time. And I think that's what he's doing. But he's a much better player now than he was 4 or 5 years ago. I mean, he had a bridge arm like that. I was thinking, you can't win tournaments like that, a bit like Luca. But they learn they have to get a bit more compact to get that consistency, and that's just development as a player,
Tell us more about your recent trip to Macau. You met a guy who's quite a big lad, didn't you? Who was it?
Shaq O'Neal, yeah.
Shaq Attack.
Shaq O'Neal. I love him, you see some of his clips on YouTube. He's just so funny, and and then I got, so I was like, I really like this guy, and then I got to meet him, obviously, and he's just a lovely guy, He was DJing out there,
Does he know snooker at all? Or?
No, he didn't know snooker, but it was quite funny because we were both standing there, and he got quite, a loud cheer, and I was the other one that got quite a loud cheer. And I think he looked at me and thinking, who's this dude?
Who's this geezer?
Who's this fella? Hey, Paul? What's that?
Who else have you met in your travels? Like sportsmen, big big names, all that sort of stuff. Anyone?
I don't like meeting people.
Who would you like to meet?
I don't like meeting anyone. It's one of them, I don't, honestly. I'm not great at meeting people. I just, if it happens, it's great, and if you get on, great. But yeah, I'm not a good one for that.
Who would you like to watch in their prime? Another sportsman?
What, another sportsman? I'd say Ayrton Senna, Muhammad Ali. I always put them two in. I love Formula 1, but Muhammad Ali for me was the ultimate sportsman, the greatest sportsman of all time.
Federer? PB?
Yeah, Federer's great, but listen, when you talk about greats, they're all great, they've all mastered their sport, but what else did they bring to the table? And I just look at Muhammad Ali and I just think everything about him was just, he was just amazing, the best talker, I've seen him on chat shows, and people are just in awe of him because he's just a one-off, and for what he stood for, and and he was just proud, he was just happy, he he was never a victim, he was just... He's one of them people that you're in awe of, just of everything he stood for.
Well, if any of those entertain which they did, like you did today, then they must be pretty good. But thanks again for coming in.